Relationality. And when I first started writing about this 40 years ago, the research wasn't as clear as it is now. Relationality is what we as a human species are born for. It's our birthright. It's what we're designed for. We are social animals. God bless Dan Siegel. Our very neurologies are not individual. We co-regulate all day long. We are born to be intimate. Young babies reach for connection almost instantly. We know that intimate connection is as important to our bodies as food, exercise. Not being in a state of intimate connection does as much damage to our bodies as smoking a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. We are born for this, but we do not live in a relational society. We live in an emphatically anti-relational society. We are pioneers, and we are social activists. The personal is political. Leading men, women, non-binary people into intimacy is synonymous with leading them beyond patriarchy. Men have to learn to be vulnerable. Women need to learn to be assertive and loving at the same time. Loving power, how to stand up for yourself and cherish the person you're speaking to in the same breath. That's new. That goes beyond patriarchy. That goes beyond anything this culture has to teach us. We are pioneers. The way we do that is by spooning our people into the jet stream of relational connection. Once they're in that jet stream, it's so much better than living in disconnection that they just, oof. Gratification, short-term pleasure, relational joy, the joy of being here and being connected. Sometimes it's gratifying, sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but I wouldn't miss a minute of it. That's what cures. That's what heals. What is trauma? Trauma means being pushed out of that connection, either through neglect or violation. And healing means restoring that connection, not just in the hothouse crucible of a therapist's office, but allowing me to help you restore it between each other, between your ears. Disconnection sickens, deep connection heals. I mean, I'm 74 years old. I've been doing this for 40 years. Just this last few weeks, I've been flooded. I've got this. I'm in New York for a New York Times event. I'm doing a podcast for the New York Times. I'm on the Tim Ferriss show. All of a sudden, all this stuff has come up. And I turned to Belinda and I said, 4 books in 40 years. I'm an overnight sensation. It's incredible. But even though it's hard, I am willing to stand here and, as my Buddhist friend Jack Kornfield would say, take my seat. I am here because I have done the work. I'm not perfect by any means. Ask Belinda, she'll tell you, but we do the work. And the point of doing the work is joy. This is not a moral exercise. It's about being happy. Why are you here? For me, that's why I'm here. For my marriage, that's why I'm here. And for my children, that's why I'm here. Having a happy marriage, having happy kids, being happy sitting still in your own skin. For those of us, and many, many of us in this room, who are not privileged to have loving, happy childhoods, sitting still inside your skin and feeling joy is a goddamn achievement. That's what we as a species are designed for. I am not above the system. Our relationship is our biosphere. We're not out of it. We're in it. We depend upon it. So I don't think about win-lose. I don't think about right-wrong. Not even incredibly concerned about fair-unfair. What I care about is how are we in this biosphere going to make this work for those of us who are in it. And as I take my seat and step into being a leader, being a model, I was raised by a violent father. Being in right relationship to power, especially male power for me, has been my life koan. And my friend Mel Buchholz taught me, it's not you, it's it. Lao Tzu wrote 6,000 years ago, the master steps out of the way and lets the Tao speak for itself. We serve a higher good. We are disciplined. We are dedicated. This is bigger than we are. That's our vitality. And it's ultimately unstoppable because it's real. It's reality. I said this on the podcast about masculinity. There's obviously been an incredible, emphatic resurgence of autocracy, dominance, even male violence. To me, is the death throes of an old model. Naked dominance, even in today's world, can occur in small ways. One country can go after the country next to it, but don't go after the country next to that. It has to be very contained. Europe fought for 300 years. It's a union now. Cooperation wins over war, ultimately. I say that this rise in dominance, patriarchy, and autocracy is sort of the death throes of an old model because it no longer reflects reality. The reality is we live in an interdependent world. We do not live in a world where one person or one country can go over and exert its will on the next one with impunity. We are interdependent. The old model of unilateral dominance is obsolete. So what I say when I'm on public stages is, we're at war all over the planet. There's an old paradigm of greed, selfishness, dominance, and power. And there's a new paradigm of ecological stewardship, thoughtfulness, enlightened self-interest, fairness, care. Back in the 80s, Carol Gilligan wrote a book, In a Different Voice. And a different voice is the voice of what we would call relationality, of care. These are two competing paradigms. I mean, I'm Belinda's husband. We're Jewish. Belinda's way of saying I love you is, I'm really going to miss you when you die. I got a joke about my wife. I say Belinda can pull the dark cloud out of any silver lining. If any of you have any concerns about a spiritual bypass, just hang out with Belinda. You'll be cured in 5 minutes. So this may be a little sort of, I don't know, catastrophizing, but there is a movement in the world that is about the resurgence of thuggery, of male, whether it's in a male or female body, of male patriarchal dominance at its nastiest. And there's a movement toward inclusion, equity, fairness, relationality, humility, wisdom. I honestly believe the fate of our planet depends on which of these two paradigms wins. I really do. This house is burning. The stakes are high. We are change agents. Own it. Be proud of it. And understand this. Don't try this alone. The bad news is, if you try this alone, you will be overwhelmed. The good news is, look around. You are not alone.